if they're going to be able to pull the upset.
NC State has won 6 of the last 8 in this rivalry, but the last time they met, it was Duke a winner in this building. They did not see each other last year after the Blue Devils opted out of the season after just the 4th game of the year. It's very much a new-look group under the direction of their new head coach this year, Carol Lawson. They have 7 transfers and 2 freshmen joining their 5 returning players. And NC State quickly the other way. They average 80 points per game, and as you've already alluded, Debbie, a very well-balanced attack.
Well, they run the floor hard and wide. They understand what a good shot is. They're very unselfish in sharing the basketball, and Wes Moore has done a fantastic job building that here inside his system.
9th season at NC State, over 30 on the sideline as he coaches in his 1,000th career game today. And the Wolfpack of NC State are your back-to-back ACC tournament champs. And with 3 straight trips to the Sweet 16, Debbie, they won't be satisfied with that this year. They have much bigger aspirations with everybody back from a year ago.
Everyone back from the team that went to the Sweet 16. Back-to-back years, really, minus their NCAA canceled year. And Wes Moore has done a fantastic job. He's a thinker, he's a motivator, he's a studier of the game, and he does a great job putting his personnel in a position to succeed.
And it all runs through Cunnane, the big girl, and a lot of good shooters around her. Here's one of them, Marina Perez, who was the hero of last year's ACC championship game, hits the 3.
I think Marina Perez is set to have a big game, and she's due for one, and that's a great start for her. She's so good off the bounce, she can shoot the 3.
There's a look at the Duke starting 5. They are yet to be at full strength. Since the Christmas holiday, they've had some injuries, they've had some health and safety protocols. They do get Lexi Gordon back today, but they are still without starting guard Celeste Taylor. Kayla Jones gets in the lane for the pull-up.
See, that's a matchup that Duke will have to deal with 6'5" Jade Williams guarding one of NC State's perimeter-like players. Kayla Jones at the 4 spot is the best from outside the arc, shooting the 3 ball by percentage.
A good child, a good 3-point shooter, and a blocking foul called on NC State inside.
Really good acceleration in that set right there by Duke. They get a nice screen and a hard roll. The rotation from the weak side late. Kayla Jones picks up her first.
Anime Akinbade James, the 6'3" senior, originally from Nigeria. Is Lexi Gordon now over at the scorer's table, ready to check in. The grad student out of Fort Worth who missed their last Virginia Tech game with the health and safety protocols, but she is back after 2 years at UConn and then 2 years at Texas Tech. And grad studies in Durham, and there is Celeste Taylor. Didn't play in that Virginia Tech game midweek after a shoulder injury suffered up at the Carrier Dome against Syracuse. Crutchfield coming off the screen for the bucket, and a hot start for NC State.
Look how quickly Crutchfield comes off that screen and gets her feet organized. One of the things that Kayla Jones told me before the game is that they were going to start tonight with energy. I said, isn't that the way you're supposed to always start it? She said, yes, but we don't always do it, but we're going to do it tonight.
They've hit their first 3 shots. Good child with the nice feed inside, Akinbade James. She's got all 4 of their points. Cunnane sets the screen, and Crutchfield with the first miss, and if this is on Jones, that's going to be her second. And a couple of quick ones here on Kayla.
Watch Kai Crutchfield, sets a screen, comes off the Kayla Jones screen, runs Goodchild right into it and gets into the shooting rhythm quickly because she gets the bottom part of her shot ready to go. That's your footwork and your hips loaded and ready, and your hips turn to the basket. And then it's a great follow-through. It's a beautiful-looking jump shot by Kai Crutchfield.
Kayla Jones goes out, replaced by Jada Boyd. They have a lot of pieces that they can plug in and play. In fact, both these sides can go deep on their benches.
Well, NC State has the equivalent of 7 starters when you talk about Diamond Johnson and Jada Boyd. You've got tremendous quality depth off their bench.
A two-man game. Perez Cunane slips and scores.
Yeah, that's where Reyna Perez has such a great analytical mind about how she dices up defenses. She just made one more dribble to give Cunane another second to get closer to the bucket.
Good job, short on the shot. Jakia Brown-Turner. Cunane, after the kick out, gets it right back. Around and out.
It's a really good repost and a good job by Akambadi James to stand her up.
Good child, nice feed. Akambadi James can't convert. 1 of 6 to start the game for Duke. Cunane bothered on the shot, and then they traveled with it.
You know, at the beginning of the year, Elisa Cunane talked about her conditioning and how she was running ahead of the ball better and that she was able to get up and down the floor, that her speed was something that she really worked on. That was a good example of it right there. She got ahead of the basketball, just couldn't get organized to finish.
Amaya Finkley-Guidi checks into the Duke lineup, transfer from Syracuse. Brown-Turner, no. So after hitting their first 3 shots, they've missed 3 of their last 4. Duke with a 3rd turnover already. As you see, Karen Lawson, 2nd season after the shortened year a year ago. Spent time, of course, in the broadcasting ranks. Spent some time as an assistant in the NBA. And perhaps most notably played for Coach Pat Summitt at Tennessee. Boyd, nice step through the lay-in.
That's that quickness in that high post area. That's just really hard to guard. Even though Duke was loaded to the ball and had 3 jerseys in the paint, that's the athleticism of Boyd.
Good child trying to use that screen again up top, way off the mark. And Brown-Turner, 1 and done. It's a very good NC State rebounding team as well. Perez off the cross. Oh, the crowd was ready to explode on that one. Unfortunately, with the bad weather, it was a sold-out crowd, 5,500. But some hardy souls have shown up today here at KAL Court.
Kudos to Wolfpack Athletics and the campus facilities for getting the parking lot and the sidewalks and everything clear, so the fans that wanted to come could be here today.
5 buckets from 5 different Wolfpackers, including that one from Jada Boyd. Welcome back to KAL Court here at Reynolds Coliseum in Raleigh, North Carolina for Duke NC State. And it's the start of We Back Pat Week around college basketball. Of course, legendary head coach Pat Summitt. And some of the greats that have played for her. Of course, Kelly Harper was a coach here at NC State for a while. And then the Olympics, including gold medalist Kara Lawson. Now on the Duke sideline.
Well, Kara Lawson has a Women's Basketball Hall of Fame resume. There's no question about it. And she has had the chance to experience winning at the highest level, including the Olympics and the WNBA. 4 Final Fours in her days at Tennessee. And, you know, Pat and Kay Yow were the best of friends.
Oh, yeah.
1984 Olympics, Pat was the gold medal head coach, and Kay was one of her assistants, along with Sylvia Hatchell. And, excuse me, Sylvia was in '88, I'm sorry, as on the Olympic staff in '88, the former head coach at the University of North Carolina.
Lisa Cunane looking to go off the bounce. Rebounds her own miss. Lays it in with the left. See, Elisa with 4.
That's where Elisa plays through the contact. You could have called a foul there, but the officials had a patient whistle. And she was able to get her own rebound and be able to finish.
Out to the 10-point lead. The Duke Blue Devils just 1 of 10, and now 4 turnovers to start this one. Crutchfield pulls up, ran into 2 defenders there, and here comes Day Wilson the other way. Gordon looks for 3, and she's got it.
That's a really good find by Cheyenne Day Wilson, who's been struggling with her own offense, but there shows some maturity to kick it out to a really good three-point shooter in Lexi Gordon.
Canaan defended by Finkley Greedy.
It's really hard to bring a double with this lineup on the floor for NC State, just because they're so good at attacking. Jada Boyd doesn't always shoot the 3, but guess what?
There it is. They doubled down, and she was open.
I mean, she's the one you want to double off of with this lineup on the floor.
That's only her 4th of the entire season.
See, that's how good and confident this NC State team is playing, that she's not afraid to pull the trigger on that. Numbers.
Another turnover. Here's Perez the other way. Around and out. Trying to clean it up, and she does.
Now, Raina Perez just sprints the right wing, and that's going to force Duke into a timeout here in the first quarter.
(19-7). So after a big win, they knocked North Carolina out of the unbeaten ranks, and now trying to take it to Duke and own this triangle rivalry. 7 points off of 5 Duke turnovers here in the first quarter.
NC State doing a really good job being active on the defensive end. There's a great feed inside. When you catch it that deep, it's hard to stop anybody from scoring, and certainly Elisa Cunane doesn't want to commit a foul there.
Malcolm Body James gets the bucket. Final 2 minutes of this opening stanza. Diamond Johnson, the transfer from Rutgers, her first attempt no good, and it will stay at this end.
I think I'd like to see Diamond Johnson get a little sweat going before she pulls the trigger on that. Plus, she's got those jets. It's like a jetpack on her back. She can fly.
Cunane will come out, get a little extra rest into the break. Camille Hobby now in at center. Here's Johnson. Off the bounce, rejected.
Great help.
Duke unable to knock it down in transition. Gordon had a clean look at it.
Jada Boyd doing a good job of rebounding out of her area, just pursuing the glass.
Perez, another big cross.
Yeah, NC State is not at its best when they go one pass and a shot.
Balagoon, Hobby got a piece.
They need to run some offense right here. You can hear Wes Moore yelling, "Move it."
Hobby lost it. That's the first turnover of the game for NC State. Gordon, another open look in transition. And now they can hold for one.
Going to go with about 9 here and expect a ball screen for Raina Perez to let her make a decision with the ball in her hands. I think she's the best decision maker with the ball for NC State.
Perez able to get the shot up. Well defended by DeJesus. Gordon, good if it goes. And a 19-9 NC State lead at the end of the first. NC State with the lead over Duke. That looks like Summer Herb in the house, Debbie.
How about that? Summer Herb took NC State's 1998 team to the Final Four, and she was the 1999 ACC Player of the Year. It's always great to see Summer in the house when the Wolfpack is playing. I had a nice chat with her, didn't we, before the game. She's very excited about this team, and she's a big NC State fan and huge fan of these young women and what they've been able to do here inside Reynolds Coliseum over the last few years.
And one of those links to Coach Kay Yow and the Final Four team of 1998. Here on Kay Yow Court this afternoon for the Wolfpack and the Blue Devils.
Duke really doing a good job of guarding personnel. I think they look much more active, and you know what, Carol Lawson does have a hard-working team. I mean, there's no question about it. It's still a process for them. They're trying to figure it out, and you know, she's 7 transfers, 5 of which McDonald's All-Americans. 2 of them are out right now. Celeste Taylor is one, and Jordan Oliver is the other.
Crutchfield to try and beat the buzzer, comes up short.
That's a pretty good list right there.
Yeah, Nia Green has been in and out as well. Nicked up, another transfer from Louisville.
You know, when Coach Lawson got the job, she really didn't have a chance to recruit the 2021 class, and you know, she went to the transfer portal, which most coaches do go to the transfer portal. As a matter of fact, most coaches save at least 1 scholarship for the transfer portal now.
Not just going to the high schoolers. Well, I know you agree, and I think for those of us that grew up outside of the Triangle, it still is a big boost for women's basketball when these 3 programs, along with these 2 in North Carolina, are competitive not only for ACC championships, but are in the national conversation as well. And you're starting to see Courtney Banger turn a corner at North Carolina. And most folks don't think it'll be long before Carol Lawson gets them cranked up. Of course, Wes Moore's already got it going here.
Well, it's a tough neighborhood, that's for sure. We've heard that many times about being in this area and then, you know, growing up in this area. Basketball is king, you know, or queen. And
Jones goes baseline and gets the roll.
when those brands are good, the ACC is really good, and that's equally on the men's side as well.
Certainly a lot of anticipation that, you know, under Joanne P. McCauley, they were winning ACC championships, and under Coach G and Gail Gestenkors, they were going to Final Fours and playing for national championships. There's a lot of tradition on that Duke side. A chance for a 3-point play here for Williams.
This is an excellent screen and roll right here. Watch how hard Williams screens and then rolls. Really good execution in the middle third of the floor when you've got the court spaced out. Wait, is that her contact on the floor?
I think it is. Hey, that'll give us a chance to let you know that Friday night at 9 Eastern, Bald Men on Campus is back, Debbie. Jay Billis, LaFonso Ellis, Seth Greenberg preview the ACC slate of weekend games and have the latest news from around the conference. Only on ACC Network and your ESPN app.
If you want to know what's going on the men's side, these 3 guys can give you the entire landscape. It's really interesting learning. And I always learn something from those 3.
Now on the women's side, by the way, mark your calendars for Thursday night primetime on ESPN. And what is setting up as a showdown for first place in the ACC right here on Kay Yow Court. North Carolina State getting set to host Louisville. The Cardinals were winners today for the 15th game in a row. They won at Boston College.
That would be win number 400 in the career of Jeff Walz.
Round of
Congratulations, Jeff.
That foul is the second on Jade Williams, so each side has a starter with 2 fouls here in the first half.
Well, this is a good matchup to keep your eye on. Diamond Johnson and Cheyenne Day Wilson. Who's got the ball in her hands right here? Steal by Diamond.
Doesn't have the numbers, waits for it, finds Jones filling a lane.
What a pass. How did she sneak that in there? Incredible.
Taylor's got 7. And Diamond Johnson with the pretty assist. Good challenge.
See, there's
trying to use that screen all
That's
day.
that twist action by Duke. Screen, rescreen, or twist. You go over the top and they twist, and then you get stuck underneath, and Goodchild can knock down the 3. It's a very well-executed play.
Canaan trying to establish inside, goes to the left. Lisa starting out 2 of 6. 3 well off the mark. And a foul on the rebound against the Blue Devils.
Watch Diamond Johnson right here. She pushes, doesn't have numbers, hesitates to give Kayla Jones just enough space. Look at that feed. It was beautiful.
Side of the ball, yeah.
Totally. That's why transition is so hard to guard. It's hard to get organized when you run and push at the pace that NC State can push.
Wilson. Tried to drop it off. Canaan got a hand on it to knock it out of there. Turnover number 8. With just 5 baskets so far in this first half for the Blue Devils. Perez lights it up from deep.
That's why if you bring help, NC State's got you all spaced out outside the three-point line. You bring help, and they are confident and willing passers.
Perez with a couple of trays, 8 points.
Look at the dig by Diamond and the steal.
Another steal. Johnson will take it herself. Missed it.
NC State's left a few points on the floor.
Yes, they have. Doubling up the Blue Devils, but they got a chance to knock this thing wide open. Crutchfield on the run, finds Diamond, and missed another layup.
I'd go right back to that set with Mila Goodchild with Akinbadi James, who's such a good screener. Whatever Tara Lawson wants from her team, they're not doing it.
They'll have to settle for a 3, and we're not able to run the play she was looking for right there. Jones spinning. Number 5 to go here in the half. 2-touchdown lead for the Wolfpack.
When you've got the best three-point shooting team in the country and you help, forget about it. Perez buries her second triple of the game.
Lori Hennis and the NC State cross-country team, Debbie, recognized for their national championship.
Hey, national championship, are you kidding me? That is awesome. Congratulations to Coach Hennis and then Raleigh Geiger, who's been at NC State, I gotta believe, maybe close to 40 years, the men's cross-country coach, who also was out on the floor being recognized. That's a good dude right there. I've known him for a long time. Congratulations to them. As a matter of fact, I used to ask him for tips when I was in college. How do I run longer and faster?
Off the miss, here comes NC State. They've assisted on 7 of their 12 baskets. 5 different players with a feed. Diamond Johnson hits another 3.
Diamond better outside the arc than she is at making a layup today. NC State, as I mentioned, had left a few points on the board, off the board.
4 of 6 from downtown. On this end of the floor, they have held Duke to just 5 field goals so far in this first half.
This action right here on the top of the floor for Carol Austin has been good.
Akinbadi James long rebound. They'll have another crack at it. Gordon. And a reach reach in, and a foul's going to be called on Diamond Johnson. Got another college hoop triple header for you coming up on Saturday. Men's hoops, Virginia, NC State, and North Carolina, Wake Forest. Coming your way.
Well, North Carolina with a big win over Georgia Tech last night. And I've actually got the North Carolina men at Miami on Tuesday. Should be fun. Two teams in second place behind the Blue Devils right now. Actually, Miami might be in first place with their win. They didn't play this weekend. Miami had a win over the Duke Blue Devils in Cameron.
Perez, leading scorer in the first half, adds to that total. She's got 10.
She's too good, and she's not who you start with on the top of the scouting report, but she's so dangerous. Over 1,600 points in her career. She was a big-time scorer when she came to NC State as a transfer. She's such a great facilitator.
50% from the floor in the first half, has knocked down a couple of triples. Johnson with the rebound and her head up. See if they can get Cunane going a little bit. Quiet first half so far for Elisa.
Cunane likes that repost.
Double team comes and one.
What a tough two right there. That's a great set. She gets a post up, they play behind. You have to play behind her and make her make a play. You bring some help. She played through the contact a couple of times already in this game.
Balagoon whistled for the foul coming over with the help. And no one in the history of NC State basketball has knocked down more of these than Cunane has. That would have been number 300 or 455, Debbie.
Well, you jinxed her.
Number one all time at the line.
And she does shoot a very high percentage. As a matter of fact, in a late game situation, you want her on the floor because she can make free throws.
Duke had it, stepped out of bounds with it.
You know, over the course of Elisa Cunane's career at NC State, we've watched her play the game a little bit lower to high, be a little bit more tougher, really work on her conditioning. It's a tremendous IQ about the way she plays. What a great piece to build around.
Second team All-American last year. She was the ACC tournament MVP. Second year in a row, the Pack have won it. Cunane spinning to the left and another and one.
I mean, they are physical with her inside, and she's showing tremendous toughness right now. Watch this post. Great spin, goes to the left, the go-to over the left shoulder, and then a counter like this. Tough to deal with inside.
84% on the season. Able to get the second one, and it's the biggest lead of the ball game for NC State. 9 points now for Cunane. And the defense right now holding Duke to just 23% shooting.
Shooters in the corners, operate in the middle third. Good D by NC State. You know, Carol Lawson has a lot of sets. She has a lot of plays in her playbook. I was at practice watching NC State scout team go through or try to attempt to go through. But what's really impressive to me is their bigs rebound. They screen well, they re-screen. Tough to deal with.
Yeah, another foul inside as they've gone to Cunane now. 3 straight possessions. I think Wes wanted to make sure she had a touch.
I mean, this is where NC State, you want to go from good to great or great to elite. You got to be able to make plays like that. You got to understand inside the flow of the game. These two right here, Diamond Johnson and Reina Perez, have to know the ball has to go inside.
Hey, next Sunday we've got another really good women's basketball quadruple header for you on ACCNet and the app. On some of the featured affairs, Carolina Tech, Virginia Tech, NC State. Coming your way next Sunday. It was NC State and Louisville for the ACC championship last year. They will get reacquainted on Thursday night here at Reynolds Boy, that should be electric.
Oh, that'll be great. You know, Louisville is good. As you said, 15 in a row. Emily Engstler is a player that you have to keep your eye on if you're rooting against Louisville. She's a tremendous impact player on both sides of the floor for Jeff Walz. And then there's Haley Van Lith in the fourth quarter.
Clutch. State has scored the last 9, 8 of those from Cunnane. As we approach the final minute of this first half.
Always probing, always attacking. Oh, great rebound by Hayes.
Madison flying in from the weak side. Brown Turner, the lefty. I don't think West cared for either one of those shots. Both were quick. Day Wilson got it.
Duke needs to figure out a way to speed up the tempo of the game so they can get some transition opportunities. So they've got to get some stops so they can rebound and let Cheyenne Day Wilson, the top scoring freshman in the ACC, go to work. That'll be an adjustment I'll be looking for out of Coach Lawson's team in the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. What does the tempo of the game look like?
Johnson off the ball fake, got it. Chance for Duke to get one up. Day Wilson for 3, he got it.
Big bucket for the rookie. Cuts it to 20 at the half.
Only freshman in the ACC, the leader team in scoring this year. Knocks down the triple.
That's exactly right. And there was a stretch in that second quarter where when the game slowed down and it wasn't in transition that they went inside to Cunnane, and that's what they need to do to be an elite team.
Well, we agree with what Coach McGraw was saying during the break. Why didn't she get touches those last couple of possessions to really get things going? And Duke, motivated out of that locker room, Mila Goodchild with the 3.
Well, if you're Duke now, you're looking to see if you can cut this thing in half. You know, can you get it to half by the start of the fourth quarter? Can you get a few stops in a row and get some momentum?
Jakia Brown Turner with the bucket, so now all 5 of the starters have scored. NC State is led by as many as 23 this afternoon. They got out to the quick start. And they held Duke to just the 8 baskets in the first half.
I think starting the second half with a smaller lineup, not going with the 2 bigs, meaning Jade Williams is on the bench here to start the second half, I think allows Duke to match up a little bit better with NC State's perimeter game, including Kayla Jones at the 4. She's a hybrid, you know. She's not just a stretch 4, she's a hybrid. She can do more than just pick and pop in the 4-man game, or in the 2-man game. As a 4 player.
The Lombard from Reina Perez, her first. Goodchild Gordon in the lineup to start this second half. Along with Balagoon, Day Wilson, Akinbade James for Duke. Brown Turner, Cunnane, Perez, Jones, and Crutchfield, same unit out there for NC State. Here is Cunnane off the bounce.
Come on, 6'5", are you kidding me? They're icing a ball screen. They pitch it back to her over the top, and she can make that play? Wow.
Player of the Year candidates right now in the ACC? Cunnane?
Yes.
Is there one for Louisville? That's another group that's very well balanced.
It is.
All doing it together.
That's what makes the teams really good, right? I think Emily Engstler has got to be in a conversation just because she's so valuable to what they do on both sides of the ball.
Statistically, probably Elizabeth Kitley from Virginia Tech is putting up the numbers.
I think Lorella Kubai is another one that's invaluable to Georgia Tech.
Like we're seeing on the men's side, so many upsets on the women's side, such parity this year. I think the postseason tournaments are going to be absolutely nuts and a lot of fun for fans. Cunnane.
I mean, she was 3 for 4 against North Carolina outside the arc. Look at that post. That's a great play. A good no call.
Assist Kayla Jones, and 15 now for Cunnane. And I think Wes Moore was thinking a lot like Muffet McGraw. Let's bury him in the third so we can rest our guys in the fourth. Balagoon high off the window. After a 2-for-9 start, Elizabeth gets the bucket.
And when Kayla Jones beats Cunane down the floor, she's first to the block. She gets that post-up opportunity. And that's all right with Cunane because she's very capable of that trail three as well. Yeah, Mila Goodchild is really good in that twist action. You know, when the screen comes, she comes off the screen and then they reset the screen again. It's a twist. So one thing I noticed on Thursday night in the Virginia Tech game is that Duke can be punishing with that screening action on the top of the floor. Really take a defender out and open up some space for their shooters. And also would be a double ice bath after the game because it's physical.
Weaving into the lane, swatted away, and it will be out of bounds off of NC State.
Well, good defensive play right there by Vanessa DeJesus. Dribble handoff. She doesn't give up on the play. Excellent job defensively.
Day Wilson got the three.
Well, there's some fight in Duke coming out of the locker room.
They continue to chip away at the deficit. Perez lost it. Cunane creates some space and scores.
Well, that's where you got to have some toughness right there. Wes Moore looking for a foul. You've been pretty physical with Cunane on the inside all game.
Oh, that's the scouting report, right?
Absolutely.
Try to knock her about. And she's shown the toughness so far today. Knocked out of bounds.
You know, I call her Big Smile. It's a nickname that has actually stuck. Wes Moore would prefer I called her the Big Scowl because she was tough, but I think she can bring toughness and bring that smile at the same time.
Cunane got a hand in the passing lane. Comes out to DeJesus. Jade Williams down to 4 on the shot clock. Goodchild.
See, good twist right there by Jade Williams.
Another chance here for the Blue Devils.
Carol Lawson becoming the point guard that she is over there on the sideline with her offense in front of her. That's what I always say about Wes Moore. He's the same thing.
Fouls on Crutchfield, her first. Williams, no. She'll get another chance. Got it. Williams has 4.
Look at that double parry inside by Cunane. Good ball movement, and Cunane's shape up to the ball and the post up is perfect timing. That's what you call good chemistry on the offensive end, Beth.
And that will be the 3rd foul on Williams. Back in a moment. Thus far, as they try and sneak their way back into this one, Debbie.
Well, behind the play of Elizabeth Balagoon, 2 points at the half. She's got 5. Mila Goodchild doing a good job of relocating on the perimeter. And a good inside out. Balagoon got a couple of buckets here, and Duke has outscored NC State in the 3rd quarter.
13-8. And as we resume play, Elisa Cunane, 17 points, 4 rebounds. Look at 18 for Elisa on both the Wade and the Wooden watch list this year for National Player of the Year honors. Owner of 4 double-doubles, including the midweek win over Virginia. They made quick work of the Cavs. She had 10 and 10 in about 20 minutes with court time.
Cunane calling out all the action defensively. Stepping out to Hedge. Good take by DeJesus and a better recovery.
Good block by James. Isaiah able to get a hand on it and knock it out. DeJesus with the find. Day Wilson relocates. Cunane into the double team and a held ball. Balagoon there with the help. It'll stay with NC State. Jones fouled. It'll be number 2 on Balagoon.
Really good ball fake inside by Jada Boyd. Gets Balagoon off her feet.
Jada 77% on the season. Hey, every Thursday night at 10 Eastern, right after our women's basketball doubleheader, the Nothing But Net crew will break down the night in the ACC for you with highlights and analysis of every women's game. That's insight you can only get one place, right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Wolfpack now 7 of 10 at the line. And Jakia Brown-Turner will check back in, replacing Kai Crutchfield. DeJesus held up off the bounce. Out of Sierra Canyon, California. Same high school as Bronny James. She had started the first 11 games, now coming off the bench. Balagoon steps away. Cunane snags it.
Tough rebound.
5th board.
Hey, Diamond Johnson says, I like this matchup right here.
Boyd off the bounce. Layup. And it's quickly back up to a 20-point game.
Duke doesn't really have a post-up player that they can throw the ball on the block to, right, and get a bucket. They can invert their guards down there like we saw Balagoon invert the last time, but their post players are really good in that middle third between the elbows, as I've referenced a couple of times, and they're terrific screeners. They're hard rim rollers. They're not screen and pop players. And when you have a person at the top of the floor like Carol Lawson has with her post player that can hard roll to the rim, you really do create some space for your shooters.
Gordon gets 1 of 2. Johnson trying to set up Cunane. Elisa off the catch, won't go. Akinbadu James is there. Balagoon. Pass inside, knocked loose. After the initial push out of the locker room by Duke, And NC State has
Oh, come on.
taken charge again.
The step-up screen, the pop, and then to be able to make that play off the bounce. Wow, I mean, that's big time right there. That's why her WNBA stock continues to go up. She's not just a low-post threat. She's a tremendous passer, three-point shooter, guard-like skills, and a post-up body.
Shooting 50%. She's got 21 points as DeJesus knocks down the three. Her first bucket.
I mean, the maturation of her development under Wes Moore has been outstanding. You can just see her growth inside her game as she's gotten tougher mentally, physically tougher. Talking about Elisa Cunane. NC State playing some really good D. I mean, this is impressive. It's a step up. It's the pop to the three-point line. You got to respect it. As a post player, it's hard to guard it. And then she can put it on the floor and spin like that at 6'5". We just don't see a lot of women with size that can do that.
11 in the first half, 10 points in this third quarter.
Well, she might be done. Yeah. You know, Wes Moore would say there's been times where they're playing so well that he sort of forgets that she's down there at the Clemson game on the road. He sort of forgot because he was by himself. None of the staff was with him. They were in health and safety protocols. And that's a pretty good number in 3 quarters of play.
Camille Hobby will replace her in the post. Final minute of this third quarter.
NC State so good at feeding the post, playing through inside out.
Gordon. On the shot clock, Day Wilson has to launch.
Good D by Diamond Johnson.
And 10 seconds for NC State to work with. Perez. Browning Turner, nope. 60-41, NC State as we get set for the fourth.
Lisa Cunane, 21 through 3 quarters. Tough on the inside, 2 feet in the paint is going to be 2 points. Play through contact, can get to the line, makes free throws. Scores with her left or her right. And this is just her points in the paint. We've seen her with a runner and we've seen her with a floater. It's been fantastic. 11 in the first half, 10 in the third quarter. Mom and Dad at home watching due to the weather, weren't able to make the trip. I'm sure they got their feet up right now, taking a break, resting.
Day Wilson with an and one, and if you're Duke right here, you're probably thinking, well, let's start doing some things to force them to put Cunane back on the floor. Diamond Johnson with her second foul. Again, NC State trying to get things lined up proper for their showdown for first place against Louisville on Thursday night in primetime on ESPN. Cardinals were a winner earlier today, their 15th in a row. And for NC State, they are trying to work on a 15th straight ACC win in a row dating back to last year. Here's what Rebecca Lobo thinks about her draft prospects.
Well, her post moves are excellent, and her range is to the three-point line. Not many 6'5s can do that. I think Rebecca's going to take a look on Thursday about maybe she might change some of those if she plays well, because she's played well tonight.
You looking in for a plus instead of a minus?
Maybe not a plus or a minus, just an A. That'd be a little bit of an upgrade.
And foul will be called on Jade Williams. That is her 4th.
Well, she's clearly one of the best post players, and if you rate her versus the rest of the college game, her efficiencies are outstanding. And now, if you're rating her against WNBA players, that's a little bit different.
Boyd. Balogun with the rebound. She, by the way, is 4 points shy of 1,000 for her career, is Elizabeth. She's got 9 points today. Playing for her 3rd different ACC school. Started out her career at Georgia Tech, 2 years at Louisville, and now with Duke.
That would be traveling, I thought. When you fall down with the ball.
Day Wilson. Another good defensive set for NC State, forcing a tough shot at the buzzer.
This is where you want to work on some execution if you're NC State. You want to continue to move the ball. Not losing sight of the fact that if Duke gets a couple of stops in a row and can score, just make it a 15-point game.
NC State's led by as many as 23 today. Got a foul off the ball on DeJesus.
You know, the game inside the game is always watching the coaches. You know, Wes Moore is calling plays with his back to Kara Lawson, so she can't hear or see what he's calling. She's getting a call, and she turns to his staff to see what the play is. You know, it's just the game inside the game with these coaches over there on the sideline. And now you can go all the way out, you know, 10 more feet to the coach's box where you can actually really hear what's going on over there.
Oh, the scouting that you can do now, the game film that you have, you can pick up everything in your preparation. Oftentimes an assistant coach will be responsible for the scout of a particular team.
We had a chance to talk to assistant coach Beth Cunningham for Duke before the game, and I know Muffet McGraw will probably agree with this, that, you know, Beth's assessment of NC State was that, you know, they're really good in the way they shoot the ball. I said, Beth, as good as some of those Notre Dame teams that you coached with Muffet McGraw. She said, maybe better because of their balance. It's a good look at Coach Cunningham.
Boy, she and Katrina Gaither were a heck of a combo back in the 90s for the Fighting Irish.
There's not many greater shooters in the history of the women's game. Certainly not at Notre Dame. Consider all the great shooters they've had.
Brina Perez, no. Cunane has had to come back onto the court for NC State as the score tightened up a little bit, and she immediately scored. She's got 23. Her career high is 28. Held ball, and it will be a turnover for the Blue Devils.
Really good dig inside by Lexi Gordon to tie that up.
Check that, it'll stay at this end. Hey, we got another college hoop triple header for you coming up Saturday right here on ACC Network, and these are the two featured events. Virginia, NC State, and North Carolina, Wake Forest. Starting Saturday afternoon for you on ACC Network. We just saw the state men at Duke yesterday.
Yeah, and I also think that if NC State men had played somebody else besides Duke yesterday, they would have had a chance to win. I mean, Duke is so good on the men's side. Coach Krzyzewski's farewell tour should be really exciting in March. They got a chance. Paulo Banchero, if you have not seen him play, he is an amazing athlete and very good basketball player.
Boyd gets to the rim.
Well, that's just talented right there. To handle that contact, and to be able to score.
On the drive, blocked. Boyd got a piece of it. Crutchfield, easy the other way.
I was here in practice earlier in the season when Wes Moore said no one else has the green light to block shots except for Jada Boyd. Jada, you can block anything you can get. He didn't want Kinane in foul trouble.
And Jada getting the work done there. And the strip, Perez. Quick the other way will outrun Goodchild and miss the layup.
Okay, she's missed probably 3 layups. Diamond Johnson's missed at least 2. NC State, when the Pack can D it up and rebound, good block by Boyd. They can transition the other way. Kai Crutchfield with an easy 2 for the Pack.
Perez will keep it and take it and hit it with 2.1 to go. Inbound to Evans. Good if it goes. And it comes up short. NC State back-to-back ACC tournament champions. Perez making it rain a Debbie in her ACC championship game debut.
Hey, and don't think Louisville doesn't remember that moment. This is going to be electric in here. Only a couple of 100 tickets left before they sell it out here on Thursday night. And you can see NC State back-to-back ACC champs. Louisville 4 consecutive regular season champs.
In a top 5 showdown right here on KL Court Thursday night prime time on ESPN.
There's usually a lot on the line. As Jakia Brown-Turner knocks it down. There's usually a lot on the line when these two get together right now. Number 1 seed, Charlie Cream has South Carolina Stanford, who won today in a close one. NC State Louisville dominated Boston College. And Indiana was able to survive overtime against Purdue. Of course, Tennessee put it to Kentucky. And Iowa State, do not sleep on Bill Finley's team. That is a very good basketball team out of the Big 12.
And Debbie, mark it down. It is January 16th at 5:30 Eastern. Our first reference to the G-curve, the geography curve in women's college basketball. So the South Carolina for regionals would go probably to Greensboro, right? Stanford probably goes to Spokane. That means there's 2 number 1 seeds, one in Wichita, Kansas. And it does not appear at this point that Duke would UConn would grab a 1 seed in Bridgeport. And they would likely stay there.
They're going to be there because of the G-curve.
So that means a 1 seed's probably going to have to go in there, and it would look like probably the ACC champ or the Big Ten champ.
Yep,
at this juncture.
And that, I think Connecticut right now, Charlie Cream has them at a 3 seed, and they're going to be in Bridgeport. And you know, right now, Connecticut fans and South Carolina fans could probably buy tickets to those regionals, but the rest of the country doesn't know, so they have to wait.
The news this week was that Paige Beckers is progressing well, so she could be back in time for the NCAA tournament. And of course, just take a look at some of the history. They never lose in the NCAA tournament playing in the Northeast, and that would be the challenge trying to go in there against Connecticut. Next Sunday, got a really good women's basketball quadruple header for you. North Carolina and Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech and NC State. It's ACC Women's Hoops, better than ever. Sunday afternoon on ACC Network. Of course, the height of the Atlantic Coast Conference was that 2006 Final Four when they had 3 of the teams at the Final Four in Boston, including the Duke Blue Devils, the Maryland Terrapins, and the North Carolina Tar Heels. Maryland beating Duke for the national championship that year.
Number 30, Cheyenne Wilson for the Blue Devils.
3 minutes to play in this one.
Yeah, James drilling a triple.
Day Wilson tries to counter.
Now entering the Blue Devils, number 33, Giselle Abbott.
Confidence. That's what Westmore wants from his team. Don't be afraid to pull the trigger.
Or they're gonna stay as the best three-point shooting team in the land at this rate. They're 50% from downtown today.
Oh, good traffic rebound by Hayes.
Gets him an extra possession.
I think Karen Lawson has a good point there. She thought it was a jump ball, not a travel.
Sophie Hart now checking into the game for NC State.
Sophie
And on
Hart.
the other side, it's Imani Lewis coming on for Duke.
Yeah, Sophie Hart is a freshman. She's going to be a really good player. 6'5", going against Elisa Cunane every day in practice. James with a floater off the glass.
She's got 5.
Yeah, I asked Sophie Hart, are you learning? She said yes. I said, are you working hard? She said yes. I said, are you having fun? She said, absolutely.
That's the triumvirate right
There
there.
you go. Her parents are here from Minnesota to watch. Of course, they have no trouble dealing with the weather outside. They're here early. They left early, she said, to get to the building so they could get a chance to get in the building early.
All right, so let's turn now our attention to the chess match that's coming here on Thursday night between Westmore and Jeff Walz, their coaching staffs, to get these two teams ready to go. What do you expect, or how does State win? How does Louisville win?
Well, NC State's got to shoot it well, and they got to share it. You know, if they share it and they move it and they force that tough defense of Louisville to have to rotate, you got to get a piece of the paint against Louisville. It's going to be really important. And for Louisville, they've got to get the tempo where they can manage the game. And if Jeff Walz can get to 70, he usually wins. Now, NC State averages 80.
They've been winning all the nail-biters this year. They've had a lot of close games, and they've been figuring out ways to win them. Their only loss was the season opener.
You know, you alluded to it before about how good conference play is. You have to be excellent in the fourth quarter. You have to be able to execute the detail of the game. You got to know the scout. You got to have a feel for how the game is going, and you're going to have to get to the free throw line. That's going to be a physical game. Louisville does such a good job of shrinking the court, and NC State wants to make the court wide.
And this joint will be jumping because, unfortunately, the weather forced a lot of folks to stay home today. But 5,500 have packed in here twice already this year. They are expecting 5,500 on Thursday night. Surrounding Ketty Out Court. Pack were undefeated in here last year for the second time in school history. Hart got her feet set.
There you go. Out of the way, Sophie Hart. Promising young freshman for NC State, taking advantage of being ready when her number gets called.
So NC State will improve to 7-0 after Louisville's win today, 5-0 in league play. Duke will slide below 500 in the league, 2-3.
Good look up the floor by Hayes.
Imani Lewis, weak side Madison Hayes. Here's Genesis Bryant into the lineup. Knocks it down.
Tell you, there's a talented group of players getting some minutes right now for NC State. That's what the future's going to look like.
Lee Volker, the freshman out of Virginia, now into the ball game for Duke. One of their 2 rookies that they added this year. DeJesus. And that will head to the other end, and that should do it. NC State will not have to take a shot here. And now they're going to reverse it and give it to Duke. And that should do it. 84-60, NC State over Duke here this afternoon to stay undefeated in league play.
Really good team effort. 47% from the floor, 47% from the three-point line. And a balanced attack by the Wolfpack. 3 players in double figures, led by Elisa Coudain with 23. And Wes Moore, coaching in game number 1,000 of his career, gets a W over the Blue Devils.
Fourth top 25 win of the season for NC State as they take down the Duke Blue Devils. 84-60, the final. Elisa Coudain leading the way for NC State, her 3rd 20-point performance of the season. 23 with 6 rebounds. Perez and Boyd also in double digits. For our entire crew, Debbie Antonelli, I'm Beth Mullins. Hey, enjoy Thursday night's game, everybody. NC State and the Ville.